Chapter 1. The first shift. Think differently or remain the same. Every transformation begins with a decision, but not the kind of decision most people talk about. It's not the decision to work harder. It's not the decision to make more money. It's not even the decision to change your life. The real transformation begins with something far more powerful. The decision to think differently. Every winner you admire, every achiever you study, every person who rises above their environment started with the same internal shift. They stopped thinking like the people around them, because here is a truth most people never accept. Your life will never rise higher than your mindset. Your results reflect your thinking. Your habits reflect your thinking. Your discipline reflects your thinking. Your confidence reflects your thinking. If you think small, you will live small. If you think average, you will live average. But if you think like a winner, your entire life begins to move in that direction. Winners don't wait for motivation. They create it. Winners don't wait for opportunities. They prepare for them. Winners don't blame circumstances. They rise above them. The moment you shift how you think, everything around you begins to shift with you. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence grows. Your habits align. Your decisions improve. Your identity expands. This is not magic. This is mindset. It is the unseen formula behind every achievement in human history. But here is what separates winners from everyone else. Winners understand that their mind is their core asset. They invest in it. They spend time building it. They challenge it. They strengthen it. They protect it from fear, negativity, and distractions. Average minds chase comfort. Winning minds chase growth. Average minds want results. Winning minds want mastery. Average minds look for shortcuts. Winning minds look for discipline. This chapter is the beginning of your shift, from thinking like everyone else to thinking like those few who rise beyond limitations. Because thinking like a winner is not about arrogance. It's not about pretending to be superior. It's about making a silent promise to yourself. I refuse to live below my potential. Every breakthrough in your life will start with that promise. Every new chapter will begin with that mindset. And every success you create will grow from that decision. From this moment forward, you are not just changing your thoughts. You are changing your entire identity. You are stepping into the mindset that allows high achievers to perform under pressure, stay consistent without excuses, rise after failure, stay focused when others get distracted, and build lives they once only imagined. This is your first step, your first shift, your first elevation. Welcome to the mind of a winner. Chapter 2. The identity shift. Becoming the person who wins. Every winner you see today was once an ordinary person, until they made one extraordinary decision. They changed their identity. Not their clothes, not their job, not their circumstances. Their identity, the inner blueprint of who they believe they are. People don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they cling to an identity that keeps them small. If you see yourself as undisciplined, your actions will follow that identity. If you see yourself as inconsistent, you will behave in ways that make it true. If you see yourself as unlucky, you will stop taking the kind of risks winners take. The strongest force in the human mind is the desire to remain consistent with the identity you believe is yours. So the question becomes, who do you believe you are? Because the truth is this: you cannot think like a loser and expect to win. You cannot think like a victim and expect to rise. You cannot think like the average person and expect extraordinary results. People spend years trying to change their habits, but they never change the identity that created those habits. They try to wake up early, but they still see themselves as someone who isn't a morning person. They try to work hard, but they still think of themselves as someone who gives up easily. They try to stay consistent, but their inner dialogue is still saying, "This is not who I am." Identity overrides effort. Identity overrides motivation. Identity overrides habit. If you want to think like a winner, you must build the identity of one. And this begins with one powerful realization: you are allowed to reinvent yourself. You are allowed to become someone new. You are allowed to outgrow your old self. You are allowed to break your own patterns. You are allowed to rise above every limitation you inherited. Winners don't wait for permission to evolve. They give themselves permission. Your identity is not the story people told you. It is not the story your environment forced on you. It is not even the story your past tries to repeat. Your identity is the story you choose to believe from this moment forward. High achievers choose identities like, I am disciplined, I am consistent, I am capable of more, I am the kind of person who finishes what I start, I am the person who keeps going when others quit. When you repeat these identities long enough, your actions begin to match them, your habits begin to align with them, your life begins to rise to the level of them. You don't become a winner by accident, you become a winner by identity. And make no mistake, identity is built in silence. Nobody sees the moment you decide to change. Nobody hears the promises you whisper to yourself. Nobody watches the internal battle you fight. But in time, everyone sees the results. Your identity is the first blueprint of your future. If you carry the identity of a quitter, your results will reflect that identity. But if you carry the identity of someone unstoppable, your world begins to shift. You will start making different decisions. You will start choosing better habits. You will start focusing on growth. You will start rejecting excuses. You will start moving like someone who believes they deserve success. Because identity is not about believing you are perfect. It is about believing you are becoming someone powerful. From this chapter onward, your goal is simple. See yourself as the kind of person who wins, and your mind will begin thinking thoughts that match that identity. Act like the kind of person who wins, and your life will begin to produce outcomes that match that identity. Protect the identity of a winner, and nothing will be able to stop your progress. Identity first, success next. This is the blueprint of every high achiever. You are now stepping into that identity. Chapter 3, The Winner's Mind. How high achievers think when no one is watching. The difference between average people and high achievers is not found in their talents, their backgrounds, or their opportunities. It is found in the moments no one ever sees, the quiet moments, the private moments, the moments when their thoughts are loudest and the room is silent. High achievers don't think like everyone else, not in public, not in private, not even in their lowest moments. Their secret is simple. They think in a direction that leads them forward, even when circumstances try to pull them backward. While most people dwell on problems, winners think in solutions. While most people complain, winners analyze. While most people give up at the first sign of difficulty, winners ask themselves, what is this trying to teach me? The world sees the results, the success, the confidence, the achievements, but not the mindset that created them. A winner's mind doesn't avoid difficulty, it studies it. It turns challenges into information and setbacks into strategy. It sees obstacles as puzzles, not punishments. This is where the separation begins. Average minds ask, why is this happening to me? Winner minds ask, how can I turn this into an advantage? Average minds say, I can't handle this. Winner minds say, I'll figure out my way through. Average minds fear pressure. Winner minds perform under it. Because here is a truth many people never realize. Pressure reveals the difference between a fragile mind and a powerful one. But pressure itself does not make you weak or strong. Your interpretation does. A strong mind looks at pressure and says, this means I am in the right zone. This means I am growing. Winners understand something most people overlook. Your thoughts are not just thoughts. They are instructions. Your mind is always listening. Every frustration, every excuse, every limitation, every doubt. And your life becomes a reflection of what your mind continues to hear. This is why high achievers guard their thoughts with intention. They refuse to let negativity stay long enough to become belief. They don't nurture doubt. They don't feed insecurity. They don't repeat stories that weaken them. Even when they fall short, even when things go wrong, even when they fail, their inner voice still speaks to them with power, not defeat. They say, I am not done yet. I'll do better tomorrow. Here is something here I can improve. This setback is temporary. This is part of the process. They don't lie to themselves. They don't pretend everything is perfect. They simply choose thoughts that keep them moving. Because movement is life, stagnation is decay. A winning mindset is not built on motivation. It is built on momentum. Even small steps forward create psychological strength. Even tiny improvements feed confidence. Even minor progress becomes proof that you are capable. The winners you admire are not superhuman. They simply mastered their inner language. They learned to silence the noise. They learned to redirect their focus. They learned to adjust their thinking quickly. They learn to think intentionally, not emotionally. A person who masters their thoughts becomes incredibly dangerous, not to others, but to mediocrity. Because once your mind is aligned with who you want to become, your actions follow automatically. Thinking like a winner means thinking with purpose, thinking with strategy, thinking with clarity, thinking with courage, thinking with responsibility. This is the mental blueprint that guides high achievers through life. It is not luck. It is not magic. It is not genetics. It is training. And the moment you begin to train your mind the same way, you will notice something profound. Life begins to respond differently to you. People treat you with more respect. Opportunities start showing up. Challenges feel lighter. Your decisions become cleaner. Your confidence becomes quieter, but stronger. Your direction becomes clearer than ever before. This is the real power of thinking like a winner. It doesn't just shape your thoughts, it reshapes your entire life. And now that you understand how winners think internally, you are ready for the next step, how they act on those thoughts. Chapter 4. The discipline factor. Doing what winners do even when you don't feel like it. There is a brutal truth winners understand that most people never accept. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. One day it lifts you, the next day it's nowhere to be found. If your success depends on motivation, you will always remain inconsistent. You will start strong and fade just as quickly. You will set goals and abandon them. You will talk about change, but never follow through. Winners rise above motivation. They rely on something far more powerful: discipline. Discipline is the part of you that acts even when your emotions refuse to cooperate. It is the part that gets up when comfort invites you to stay down. It is the part that chooses long-term victory over short-term pleasure. It is the part that moves you forward even when your mind is full of excuses. A person without discipline can have dreams, talent, intelligence, passion, but they will still remain stuck. A disciplined person with half the talent will outperform the gifted person every single time, because discipline is the engine behind every great achievement. But here is the part people misunderstand. Discipline is not a natural personality trait. It is not something you either have or don't have. It is a skill, built, trained, strengthened, and sharpened like a muscle. No one is born disciplined. People become disciplined through repetition, through structure, through commitment, through the daily decision to honor their goals instead of their moods. High achievers, the ones whose names you admire, began their journey the same way you are beginning yours, by winning small battles within themselves. The battle against laziness, the battle against excuses, the battle against distractions, the battle against the "I don't feel like it" voice inside. Everyone hears that voice. Winners just don't obey it. Most people think discipline means forcing yourself aggressively, but the truth is more subtle. Discipline is simply the ability to keep promises you make to yourself. Winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for inspiration to strike. They don't wait for the right moment. They create momentum through action. If they're tired, they move slowly, but they move. If they're overwhelmed, they simplify, but they move. If they're unmotivated, they start small, but they move. Because forward motion, no matter how small, builds discipline. And discipline, once it becomes part of your identity, becomes unstoppable. You see, discipline is not just a habit, it is a message you send to yourself every single day. I am in control. I decide my direction. I honor my commitments. I follow through. Every time you act with discipline, you strengthen your identity. Every time you skip what you know you should do, you weaken it. But here is the beautiful thing. Discipline compounds. Just like saving money builds wealth, saving promises builds personal power. When you do one disciplined act, you create a psychological shift. 2 acts create a pattern. 3 acts create momentum. 20 create identity. This is how winners are born. Not from dramatic transformations, but from consistent, invisible private victories. The world sees the big accomplishments, but the real success was created in quiet moments. Late nights when they wanted to sleep, but kept going. Early mornings when they wanted to rest, but chose progress. Days when motivation was dead, but discipline carried them. These moments look small to the outside world, but internally, they are massive. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, You become someone your future self can rely on. A disciplined person becomes dangerous. Dangerous to excuses, dangerous to procrastination, dangerous to their old habits, dangerous to anything that tries to limit their growth. Discipline rewires your brain. It changes how you see yourself. It changes what you tolerate. It changes what you believe is possible. A person without discipline says, "This is too hard." A disciplined person says, "This is hard, but I'll do it anyway." A person without discipline says, "I'll do it later." A disciplined person says, "I'll do it now so later I can focus on something greater." A person without discipline says, "I don't feel like it." A disciplined person says, "My feelings don't decide my actions." This is the mental separation between average and exceptional. And here is the deepest truth of all. Discipline creates freedom. It frees you from anxiety. It frees you from regret. It frees you from the pain of knowing you are not living at your full potential. It frees you from chaos, from uncertainty, from stagnation. Discipline gives you a life where your future is not random. It becomes predictable, intentional, crafted by your own hands. When you become disciplined, you no longer hope for success. You build it. You no longer wish for improvement. You work for it. You no longer wait for opportunities. You create them. This is why high achievers treat discipline like oxygen. Without it, everything collapses. With it, everything becomes possible. If you want to think like a winner, you must practice the habits of a winner. And discipline is the first habit that separates dreamers from doers. What you choose to do when no one is watching is what decides your future. This chapter marks the moment you shift from wanting success to preparing for it, from thinking about growth to committing to it, from hoping for discipline to becoming disciplined. The next version of you is already waiting, and discipline is the door you must walk through to reach them. Chapter 5. The Power of Focus. Wisconsin nerds don't chase everything. They master one thing at a time. One of the greatest secrets in the world of achievement is something most people never learn, and even fewer ever practice. Winners do not try to do everything. They choose what matters, and they protect that choice with their entire life. In a world full of distractions, endless noise, and constant demands, the strongest minds are not the ones that know the most, but the ones that know what to ignore. The average person spends their life reacting to messages, reacting to emotions, reacting to problems, reacting to urges, reacting to whatever force pulls their attention next. When your attention is constantly pulled, your potential is constantly weakened. But winners live differently. They know that focus is not just a skill, it is a superpower. Focus is what makes the difference between wasted potential and realized potential. It is what separates the distracted from the disciplined. It is what turns effort into excellence and goals into reality. High achievers understand something simple yet profound. Your mind is not built to chase 10 things. It is built to dominate one thing at a time. People who scatter their focus scatter their results. People who split their attention split their progress. People who try to be everything end up being nothing. But the moment you decide to lock in, truly lock in, the world begins to move differently for you. Your thoughts sharpen, your energy rises, your direction becomes clear, your actions become intentional, your progress becomes measurable. You stop living like a passenger and start living like the driver. Focus creates power because it eliminates the unnecessary. It removes the noise that dilutes your life. It burns away the useless habits, the pointless thoughts, the empty distractions, and the draining people who slow your growth. The truth is this: most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they are drowning in distraction. They want success, but they can't focus. They want growth, but they can't stay consistent. They want transformation, but they pay more attention to entertainment than improvement. Winners know better. They don't try to do everything. They try to do what matters, and they do it with precision, intention, and discipline. They choose a target, and they commit to it fully. They don't keep switching goals. They don't keep changing directions. They don't keep abandoning their progress because something else looks easier. They understand that mastery requires time. Consistency requires patience. Success requires focus. A mind that is everywhere is weak. A mind that is focused becomes unstoppable. You see, the power of focus doesn't just improve your productivity, it transforms your identity. When you focus, you become the type of person who follows through. When you focus, you become the type of person who finishes what they start. When you focus, you become the type of person clarity finds easily. Focus trains your mind to say no to anything that steals your future. And winners say no far more often than they say yes. They don't say yes to every invite, every idea, every distraction, every temptation. They protect their time like a treasure. They guard their attention like a valuable resource. Because they know that the battle for success is won internally long before it's won externally. And the greatest battle is the battle for your attention. When you learn to control your focus, you learn to control your destiny. Your brain is constantly shaping your reality. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you feed grows. Whatever you prioritize becomes powerful. Whatever you repeatedly think becomes your identity. This is why winners choose their focus intentionally. They focus on growth. They focus on goals. They focus on improvement. They focus on the person they are becoming, not the person they used to be. The average mind gets distracted by everything. The winning mind gets distracted by nothing. This is why winners accomplish more in 1 year than others do in 10. Their energy is concentrated. Their effort is aligned. Their direction is clear. Their momentum is unstoppable. Every major breakthrough in your life will come from a season of intense focus, a period where you decide that nothing else matters more than your growth. The moment you stop dividing your energy and start concentrating it, your life will transform faster than you can imagine. This is the power of focus, the power to eliminate distractions, the power to sharpen your mind, the power to direct your future, the power to rise above the noise of the world and connect with the greatness inside you. Winners don't wait for focus. They build it, they strengthen it, they defend it. And now so will you. Chapter 6. The Consistency Code. How winners stay committed when others quit. Consistency is the silent force behind every achievement that looks impossible from the outside. People admire discipline, but what truly elevates a winner is consistency. The ability to show up again and again, even when the excitement fades, even when the motivation dies, even when the results are slow. Most people can start, very few can continue, even fewer can finish. Winners understand something the world rarely teaches. Consistency is not about intensity, it is about identity. The average person relies on bursts of energy. They get motivated, work hard for a few days, then collapse back into old habits. Their progress rises and falls like a wave, unpredictable and unstable. Winners move differently. They don't rely on emotion, they rely on systems. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create predictable routines. They don't chase motivation, they chase discipline. Consistency is built through small daily actions, quiet efforts that look insignificant but accumulate into greatness. It's not glamorous, it's not dramatic, it's not loud, but it is powerful. The moment you decide to be consistent, you take control away from your moods and give it to your mission. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel empty. But consistency doesn't negotiate with feelings, it follows commitment. What separates winners from everyone else is not that they always feel ready. They simply refuse to disappear. They show up tired. They show up uncertain. They show up stressed. They show up imperfect. But they show up. Every day you stay consistent, you strengthen your identity. Every day you keep going, you weaken your excuses. Consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you show up long enough, consistently enough, something special happens. Momentum takes over. You start to feel yourself growing. Your confidence expands. Your ability sharpens. Your clarity increases. Your progress compounds. Consistency is not just what winners do, it's who they are. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. Confidence is not loud. It is not arrogant. It is not the need to show the world how great you are. True confidence is quiet, steady, grounded, the deep internal belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. People think confidence comes from success, but winners know the truth. Confidence comes from evidence. The evidence you create every time you act despite fear. Every time you take a small step forward, you tell your mind, I can do this. Every time you face discomfort, you prove to yourself, I am capable. Every time you refuse to quit, you reinforce the identity of someone strong. Confidence grows in the places where most people hesitate. It grows when you try again after failing. It grows when you speak even though your voice shakes. It grows when you push yourself into uncomfortable situations. It grows when you trust your abilities instead of your doubts. People often wait to feel confident before they act, but winners act first, and the confidence follows. You don't need confidence to get started. You need courage. Courage is the seed. Confidence is the fruit. Confidence is also built through preparation. The more you prepare, the less fear has control. Winners don't rely on hope, they rely on readiness. Confidence also grows through self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, your mind trusts you. When you break them, your mind doubts you. Confidence is the relationship you have with yourself. It is built through commitment, strengthened through action, and protected through boundaries. A confident person walks differently, not because they think they're better, but because they know they are becoming stronger. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about being resilient. It's about believing you can rise even when you fall. This is the type of confidence that cannot be shaken. Chapter 8. The winner's environment. Surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. Every major transformation in life always begins with a shift in environment, long before habits change, long before goals change, long before confidence changes. Your environment is the soil in which your identity grows, and if the soil is toxic, even the strongest seed will struggle. People underestimate this truth more than anything else. They think their environment is just the place they live, or the job they work, or the city they stay in. They believe their environment is external, but winners know better. Your environment is every influence that shapes your thoughts. It is the people you allow to speak into your life. It is the voices you choose to listen to. It is the opinions you absorb. It is the energy you surround yourself with. It is the expectations of those closest to you. A person can have ambition, intelligence, potential, ability, and still stay stuck, simply because the environment they live in does not support growth. It's like trying to grow a tree in a small pot. No matter how healthy the seed is, it cannot expand beyond the container around it. Winners understand this deeply, and they protect their environment with the same intensity they protect their mindset, because environment shapes everything. If you're surrounded by people who think small, your dreams will shrink to match theirs. If you're surrounded by people who complain, you'll start seeing problems instead of possibilities. If you're surrounded by people who fear risk, you'll hesitate where you should advance. If you're surrounded by the unmotivated, you'll lose your fire slowly, quietly, without even noticing. Energy is contagious. Mindsets spread. Beliefs travel from person to person like invisible currents. And whether you like it or not, the people closest to you influence the direction of your life more than you realize. This is why winners are intentional about who they let near them. They don't keep low-frequency people close. They don't entertain negativity disguised as advice. They don't tolerate gossip, jealousy, or hidden competition. They don't stay in environments where growth is mocked or misunderstood. But perhaps the most powerful truth is this: winners know when it's time to outgrow a room. You can love people and still outgrow them. You can care about people and still move forward without them. You can appreciate your past and still walk toward your future. Growth demands emotional maturity, the courage to step away from environments that cannot support who you are becoming. Sometimes it means distancing yourself. Sometimes it means changing routines. Sometimes it means cutting ties altogether. Sometimes it means rebuilding your personal world from scratch. Not because you're cruel, not because you're selfish, but because your potential deserves a space where it can breathe. And new environments create new identities. When you surround yourself with disciplined people, your standards rise. When you surround yourself with focused individuals, you stop wasting time. When you surround yourself with people who value growth, you grow without forcing it. When you surround yourself with those who believe in you, you begin believing in yourself even more. Winners do not grow alone. They grow in environments designed for elevation. Your environment should not drain you. It should feed you. It should not limit you. It should expand you. It should not keep you comfortable. It should keep you challenged. There is a version of you that cannot emerge until you change your environment. And once you do, The difference will feel like stepping out of a dark room into the sun, warm, liberating, awakening. This is the truth winners live by. You are not only shaped by who you are shaped by who you are around. And when you surround yourself with greatness, when your environment celebrates growth, progress, discipline, clarity, ambition, you begin to rise naturally, consistently, effortlessly, because the mind thrives where it is nourished. This chapter prepares you for that rise. Chapter 9. The Mindset of Resilience. How winners recover, adapt, and rise. Every great life includes difficulty. Every winner has walked through storms you will never hear about. Every successful person has scars, heartbreaks, disappointments, failures, and moments where giving up would have been easier than moving forward. But winners do not escape hardship. They outgrow it. Resilience is the internal armor that allows a person to keep moving even when their world is shaking. It is the quiet voice that says, "Not yet. I am not done. I can still rise." Resilience is not built in comfort. It is built in struggle. It is shaped by the moments that test your strength, your patience, your belief, your identity. Most people crumble under pressure because they misinterpret the challenge. They think difficulty means something is wrong. They think setbacks mean they're not capable. They think failure means they should stop. Winners interpret challenges differently. To them, adversity is not an enemy. It's a teacher. Pressure sharpens them. Pain strengthens them. Obstacles refine them. Setbacks instruct them. Resilient people do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "What is this teaching me? What can I learn? How can I use this?" A winner's resilience is built from unbreakable beliefs. The belief that every difficulty has meaning. The belief that every setback is temporary. The belief that every challenge is preparation. The belief that no matter how heavy the moment feels, they are capable of rising from it. Resilience does not mean you feel nothing. It means your feelings do not stop your progress. You can cry and still continue. You can hurt and still stand. You can be afraid and still act. You can be uncertain and still move forward. Because resilience is not the absence of emotion, it is the mastery of direction. And the direction of a resilient mind is always forward. Some days you move fast. Some days you move slowly. Some days you drag yourself inch by inch. But as long as you move, you are winning. Resilient minds understand something profound. Life is unpredictable, but strength is a choice. Strength is built in the dark moments. Strength is built when no one is watching. Strength is built in the lonely times where quitting seems easier than continuing. This is where winners are born, in the storms, not by avoiding them, but by learning how to walk through them with courage, with clarity, and with purpose. Life will always test you. You cannot control the storm, but you can control who you become inside it. And when you choose resilience, you become the kind of person the storm cannot break. Chapter 10. Becoming Unstoppable. The final evolution of a high achiever mindset. There comes a moment in a person's life where something shifts permanently. A deep inner realization awakens, not dramatic, not loud, not explosive, but clear, strong, and undeniable. You begin to understand that your life is not defined by where you started, but by what you decide from this point forward. This is the moment you transition from improvement to transformation, from wanting change to becoming the change, from hoping to win to choosing to win. This final evolution is what it means to become unstoppable. Being unstoppable has nothing to do with perfection. It is not about constant motivation. It is not about never feeling fear. It is not about never failing. Being unstoppable means that nothing, not circumstances, not opinions, not setbacks, not emotions, can permanently stop your forward movement. You may slow down, but you will not stop. You may fall, but you will rise again. You may struggle, but you will adapt. You may get tired, but you will not quit. To be unstoppable is to understand the power of identity, the strength of discipline, the clarity of focus, the stability of emotional control, and the resilience that comes from every storm you've survived. Winners are not unstoppable because they are special. They are unstoppable because they are committed to growth, committed to purpose, committed to mastery. committed to becoming the best version of themselves. Most people live reactively. Winners live intentionally. Most people get discouraged by setbacks. Winners use setbacks as strategy. Most people stop after a failure. Winners start again with more wisdom. Being unstoppable means you no longer negotiate with your old self. You no longer allow doubt to make your decisions. You no longer let fear control your direction. You no longer depend on motivation. You depend on identity. When you reach this stage, something changes permanently. Your mind becomes a weapon. Your discipline becomes automatic. Your focus becomes sharp. Your confidence becomes quiet. Your resilience becomes natural. Your vision becomes clear. You stop being intimidated by challenges because you know challenges created your strength. You stop being afraid of failure because you understand failure shaped your character. You stop chasing validation because you discovered the world follows those who follow their purpose. There is nothing more powerful than a person who has learned to master their mind, discipline their actions, regulate their emotions, protect their environment, and rise after every storm. That person is unstoppable, and whether you realize it or not, through every chapter of this journey, you have been building that version of yourself, piece by piece, layer by layer, decision by decision. You are stronger than before, clearer than before, more disciplined than before, more resilient than before, more focused than before, more aware than before. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of the part where you finally live as the person you were always meant to become. You now carry the blueprint. You now carry the mindset. You now carry the identity. You now carry the discipline. You now carry the focus. You now carry the resilience. You are no longer hoping for success. You are building it. You are no longer wishing for strength. You are living it. You are no longer trying to be a winner. You are thinking like one. And when the mind transforms, the life follows. You, from this moment onward, are unstoppable. This is the blueprint. This is the transformation. This is the winner inside you, fully awakened,